Ladies and gentlemen, weebs and waifus, welcome to Kyo World here on YouTube. And folks, today I have the honor, the privilege of covering a genuine 10 out of 10 masterpiece with all of you today. That's right, I'm saying it up front right now because it's the truth. I'm honestly so full of excitement because ever since I watched this work of art, I have been utterly and completely obsessed with it. The anime I am referring to is none other than Berserk 1997. The emotional roller coaster that is Berserk needs to be studied. God bless Kentaro Miura, and may he rest in peace. I'm truly delighted that his work will be able to continue on. But before we deep dive into Berserk and what makes it so incredible, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way to helping grow the channel, guys, and it's free to do. Now, without further ado, let's please talk about Berserk. In Berserk, we follow a lone mercenary warrior by the name of Guts, who wanders Midland looking for battles, driven solely by his will to survive. After being defeated by Griffith, the charismatic and ambitious leader of a fearsome mercenary group called the Band of the Hawk, Guts becomes a full member of the group. This is where Griffith establishes that Guts is now essentially his possession. Guts proves himself over and over in battle, which quickly rises him through the ranks, becoming Griffith's best warrior. One day, Griffith shows Guts his Behelit, a mysterious demonic relic, and tells him about his dream to rule a kingdom of his own. This part is so crucial to the story overall. This is a scene where two men, who are extremely guarded normally, actually have a moment with each other where they drop their guards, and Griffith shares intimate information with Guts. It is clear Griffith's feelings towards Guts are unlike anything Griffith has ever felt for any other person. I bring this up because it will be very important as we progress. We now fast forward 3 years, and the Band of the Hawk have grown in power and in numbers, with Guts serving as a commander of the group. Guts encounters Nosferatu Zod, a fearsome giant warrior who, after nearly killing him and Griffith, decides to spare their lives after seeing Griffith's Behelit, warning Guts of an inescapable death once Griffith's dream dies. While recovering, Griffith starts getting closer to the King of Midland's daughter, Charlotte. At one point, Guts overhears a conversation between Griffith and Charlotte at a royal dinner party, where Griffith says that to him, a true friend is someone who has their own dream, someone he can call his equal. Now this too is a very important scene because this conversation resonates profoundly with Guts. I believe it is here where he actually starts to ask himself just what are his dreams in life. Up until now, his life has just been a constant struggle for survival. He now has the opportunity to really ask himself the tough questions that he's never had to truly ponder until now. The Band of the Hawk is eventually hired full-time by the Kingdom of Midland, helping to win the 100-Year War against the Tudor Empire. But in the meantime, Guts develops a very, very close relationship with Casca, the Hawks unit commander and only female member. You're picking up what I'm putting down, right? Giggity. Sometime after Hawks' victory, Guts decides to leave the group to stop living for Griffith's dream. And just like that, we hit yet another tentpole event in the Berserkdom, because it is at this point that Griffith starts to really go off the rails and everything goes downhill for the show. It really is that crucial of an event because, as you remember, Guts is everything to Griffith, and if he isn't, he is damn well close. Guts makes Griffith feel things that he has never felt before, and to be honest, does not know how to properly act on these emotions, which tends to him leading to these outrageous outbursts like the one we're about to discuss. That's right, you guessed it, Griffith challenges Guts to a duel. That's right, a fucking duel. Telling him that he joined the Band of the Hawk because he lost, and that he can only leave the Hawks if he can defeat him. And after defeating Griffith with a single swing of his sword, Guts reaffirms his decision and walks away. So, before we go any further, if you have not seen Berserk, I'm just curious, how do you think Griffith reacted to losing to Guts? Do you think he calmly accepted the fact that he lost and moved on peacefully with his life? Go ahead, I'll wait. Alright, so if you said Griffith acted responsibly, well then, you're wrong, and you haven't been listening whatsoever. Of course he acted out with reckless abandon. Psychologically devastated by Guts' departure, Griffith, in a lapse of judgment, has sexual intercourse. That's right, full-blown sexual intercourse with Princess Charlotte, unaware that he is being watched. Consequently, Griffith is imprisoned and tortured, while the rest of the Hawks are marked for death. Guts, who spent a year training to become a better swordsman, eventually learns that the Hawks are now outlaws and that Casca has taken over as their leader. Guts goes to their aid, arriving in time as they battle a group of mercenaries. Casca has a plan to rescue Griffith from the Tower of Rebirth where he is being held. Once the Hawks are ready, they go into a dungeon under the Tower of Rebirth, finding Griffith mutilated, disfigured, and rendered mute. It is also hinted that Griffith may or may not have been raped while being also tortured in the prison. But they are able to rescue Griffith from his prison, and the Hawks feel helpless due to Griffith's condition. Casca tells Guts that she must take care of Griffith and that Guts should just continue his own path. Overhearing them and desperate at what he has been reduced to, Griffith takes off in a wagon. That's right, a wagon, and accidentally crashes the thing into a nearby river. He crawls out of the wreckage and, in his despair, attempts to commit suicide by stabbing his throat into a sharp tree root, but fails. Instead, he miraculously finds his behelet, which he had lost during his time in prison, and unintentionally activates it with the blood leaking from his neck. Now, what happens next can only be explained as pure nightmare fuel. This initiates an event known as the eclipse, taking everyone present to another plane of existence. The God Hand, which is a group of archdemons, inform Griffith that he has been chosen as their final member, and he must offer his comrades as sacrifices to the apostles, who are humans like Zod from earlier, who became powerful demons by sacrificing their loved ones and their own humanity. Griffith agrees, and the entire band of the Hawk, yeah, the same band that freaking rescued him from the prison in the first place, yeah, they're all branded as sacrifices. Almost all of the group, except Guts and Casca, are slaughtered and devoured by the apostles. Griffith is reborn as the fifth God Hand member, known as Femto, and then grapes Casca in front of Guts, while Guts is restrained by an apostle that has latched onto his arm. He cuts off his own left forearm and loses his right eye to an apostle in a vain attempt to stop his former friend. In a flash forward, it is shown that Guts ultimately does survive the eclipse and sometime later becomes known as the Black Swordsman, starting a quest for revenge against the God Hand and the apostles. So, at this point, I think we can all agree that Griffith is an utter piece of shit who deserves to die, correct? I mean, this man's downfall is one of historic proportions. And I have actually seen those Griffith apologists out there claiming Griffith did nothing wrong, and I would hope that most of those people are just rage baiting to rile people up like me. I have seen the arguments, and they're always like, everyone in the Band of the Hawk knew what they were signing up for initially, and that was to be Griffith's military might. Help him rule a kingdom of his own. However, I don't believe they thought anything like the eclipse was ever going to happen, and I think if they knew it was, they would reconsider. Also, Griffith seducing Princess Charlotte was a terrible, terrible idea, which got himself in the disheveled state he was found in. Now I know, there is more to the Berserk story, but that is where I'm at currently. I watched the 1997 version of Berserk, and then I watched the 3 movies that basically retell the 97 version but adds more context and more information that the 97 version removed. And I also know there are more seasons on Crunchyroll that I intend to watch now because I'm just so thoroughly invested in the story at this point that I need to know what's going to happen next. So I will power through that CGI animation. And then I will find a place to read the manga online. So if you guys have any recommendations on where I can read Berserk online for free, just let me know. If you have made it to this point in the video, a huge arigato to you. And if you are new to the channel, please, once again, just make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you have seen Berserk 1997 already, let me know who is your favorite character or what your favorite moment is. I love hearing from you guys. In the meantime and in between time, sayonara.